Right, well, he still ain't moving, but then it has only been a couple of minutes. I figured I'd let you admire him while running through what he has in his enclosure. So his enclosure size is 4 foot deep, 4 foot high, and it's, I think, 8.5 foot long, which will do him for life. He also comes out, especially on hot days, he'll be out all day in the garden, where he's got certainly a much bigger room to run about and enjoy than sitting in his enclosure all day. The UVB is a 46 inch 54 watt Arcadia T5 D3 12%, and that's with a reflector behind it. That's mounted on the top plinth of the enclosure, and astonishing amounts of UVB that gets pumped around that enclosure. You may also recognise Gammon from the Arcadia website. He's actually on it as the Rhinoceros Iguana there. It was a photo taken of Gammon in the front garden a while ago. And then he's got a 6 foot thermo tube in the enclosure. It starts at the far side on the hot end, and obviously stops 2.5 foot short in the cold side, so it allows me to get a decent gradient in the enclosure. In the basking side, he's also got 200 watt reflector lamps that point diagonally at each other, so it covers sort of like a square area on top of the bask. The bask is a raised, concreted or cemented or whatever bit with a load of large rocks put in it. His substrate is a mix of sand, eco earth, organic soil, and oh, cat's come to see you. This is Sabbath, our resident naughty kitten. Not the towel. How many times have you got to be told not the towel? Well done. Go away. Go on. Where was I? Reflector lamps, substrate. It gets, the Viv gets misted. I've got a 1.5 litre spray bottle, which you can sort of like, you pump it up and then you just put the clip in, and I just throw that in the tank, let that run out. That happens every 2 days, just to get a lot of moisture in the cold side. Hot side, I think his basking spot is at the hottest point is 125 Fahrenheit. In the cold side, it's down to about 83, 85, something along those lines. So he's got a very good gradient to regulate himself. What does this kitten want? She's being very whingy. What do you want, darling? This is Sabbath, as in Black Sabbath. What? No, not me fag. Get out of it. It's my cigarette. Get your own, scrounger. What else does he have in his tank? I mean, most of it, I've got to build a shelf part on the enclosure. Here she goes again, having a look at Gammon. Yeah, got to build a shelf part in the cold side of the enclosure, just to give him a bit more space. It's not being utilised very well at the moment. He's got all his rocks and that to bask on, a couple of bits of wood, etc. Cork bark, but it's just lacking a bit, so we'll have to sort that out sometime soon. Anyway, I don't think he's going to move about much today. Oh, as I say that, give him a stroke and he's wandering a bit. Not far though, is it? Thing on this yellow one. Yeah. What's that? And the main reason for getting him out during the day is just that, well, the UVB is certainly much better on bright days here than what I can ever supply artificially in an enclosure, despite the fact that the Arcadia lamps are the best on the market. But also it gives him a little bit of space. It gives both of us a bit of space to work with each other, because he's not massively tame at the moment, and getting him to trust me is an important thing, especially when it gets much bigger. That'd teach you, wouldn't it? And that's why we have the lead on him, so when he suddenly tries to dart, he can't get too far or too quickly. I absolutely forgot what I was saying then. Yeah, trust. We use not so much food bribes, but he gets hand fed on a daily basis. So when we fill up his fruit and veg and all the weeds, see a lot of plants around here. My partner is growing an awful lot of plants, the 2 little greenhouses and that, all the herbs. She grows all that for the iguanas. So when we top that up each night, we hand feed them first of all. Where do you think you're going? But there's only so much you can do in an enclosure, so when you're out like this it's much easier, because they've got more important things to worry about than the person who feeds them every day, if that makes any sense to you. You're not going in the shed. I did hope to have this shed as my red iguana enclosure, so I was going to put a piece out, like chicken wire around there. Right, I don't think so. No. Thank you. But that's about it really. Might have to upload this in two parts, and I'm going to go and pop him back now. I might do a video of him just sitting in the enclosure for now.